Ladies and gentlemen, after all of this time, I finally read Madripoor Knights. I know it's taken me a while, but listen, I wasn't alive when it came out, so cut me some slack. So, what is Madripoor Knights? So, Madripoor Knights is Uncanny X-Men issue 268. It is a very iconic cover and a very iconic story. So, what makes it so special? Well, first of all, it's brought to you by the dream team of Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. Now, I'm quite a fan of these two. Chris Claremont's X-Men run is like possibly my favorite comic book run ever. And what's great about this issue that I didn't realize going in is that it ties into another favorite of mine, but we'll get into that. So, this comic, what's really special about it is that you see boasting on the cover, it has the first meeting of Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Widow. And what I mean by that is not necessarily that these characters have never interacted with each other, but you see the first chronological meeting of these three characters. Now, before we get into the comic itself, let's break it down because you can see on the cover that you've got Black Widow in her then current costume, which was like she had short hair, like kind of like a bob. She had this gray or silver outfit with a black spider logo. And then you had Wolverine, who had this tan and brown costume. And then Captain America, of course, had his regular costume. Now, what's interesting about that is that even though it is an iconic cover that's been homaged many, many times, it's very misleading because you never see those three characters in those costumes together ever in the whole issue. But who cares because it's a great issue. So what is the story about? So the story is basically set in 1941 and also the then present, so like 1990, right? Here's the thing, though. You got to understand that this came out in a really weird time in X-Men history. So I got to give you some background. So at the time, the X-Men were dead, but not really. Here's what I mean. You saw the X-Men die on national television. They actually did. They straight up died. They got resurrected, but they died. The whole world saw the X-Men die. And then they get resurrected and are kind of operating undercover. The whole world thinks they're dead, right? And then within cover, Wolverine is operating undercover in this place called Madripoor, which is this fictional country in the Marvel universe. It's like this fictional island nation that's just infested to the brim with crime. It's this lawless land in Asia. And Wolverine is operating as this guy called Patch. He just wears a white suit and an eye patch. He's Patch. That's his identity. Okay. Very creative, I know. And he's just kind of doing his thing in the underworld, getting involved in crime, figuring stuff out, making his underworld connections, kind of drifting. That's Wolverine's whole thing. And to make matters worse, the X-Men have been completely disassembled. They're all over the world, and it's like they're getting the band back together. So at this point in time, there are multiple subgroups and multiple people unaccounted for. But what we do know is that Wolverine, Psylocke, who had just recently been turned Japanese and into this ninja chick that we know today. Because before that, she was this white British chick with pink hair. Now she's a ninja with that like epic side blade, really cool stuff. And Jubilee, who is also a recent addition to the team. So you've got Wolverine, Psylocke, and Jubilee palling around, hanging around Madripoor. Now let's get to the setup. Okay, so we start off in 1941, where Captain America is fighting the Hand, some Daredevil villains, alongside some Russian guy. And wouldn't you know it, who's walking around Madripoor, sees it, and jumps in? Wolverine. So Wolverine, Captain America, and this Russian dude, they fight them off. And then we come to the present, where we see Black Widow being attacked by the Hand in Madripoor. And who jumps in? Wolverine, Psylocke, Jubilee. And then we get this feeling that Wolverine's like, I've seen this kind of thing before. Why are the Hand back in Madripoor? And that's when we learn that Black Widow has also dealt with the Hand before, alongside Wolverine. They met. What? They know each other. How long have they known each other? Well, it turns out, so Black Widow is a lot older than people realize because she has this like super soldier serum. And because of that, she ages slowly. But she was a child in 1941 who was being captured by the Hand, right? And it was up to this Russian guy, Captain America, and Wolverine to save her. And who hired the Hand? Because the Hand, even back then, always works for hire. Baron von Strucker. Okay, so who's hiring the Hand to do whatever they're doing in the present day? The Von Strucker twins. So we get to see these two plot lines kind of go and mix together and come to a head. This is all in one issue. It's great. So you see the Captain America, Kid, Black Widow, and Wolverine storyline in the past. And then you see the X-Men / Black Widow storyline in the present fighting the Hand. It's really cool. And the issue wraps up. Not everything is, exact. They haven't caught the Von Struckers, but they temporarily beat whatever the problem was for the sake of the issue. It's a self-contained issue with a backdoor for more content. And I really like it. It's a great one. It's a standout. It's awesome. And what I like about it, too, is that it kind of keeps adding to Wolverine's past. There's still a sense of mystique. Why was he in Madripoor in 1941? They don't tell you. Wolverine's just wherever the plot needs him to be, doing whatever the plot needs him to do. And somehow it still always makes sense. But, fans have wanted more from this story, evidently, for a while. And it has been 34 years since this issue came out. And Marvel's like, you know what? Let's continue. And so they did. So while some people were waiting 34 years for this storyline to be picked up, I waited like maybe an hour or two, even, to pick up where this left off. So take that, chumps. Well, let's see if the cover actually makes sense this time around. And let's see if it picks up. So what's great about it is that not only is it carrying on, even though Jim Lee, unfortunately, is not doing the artwork. The artwork is still great, by the way. You do have Chris Claremont writing, so it has a consistent voice. And this story picks up basically right where the last one left off. It's great. Down to you have Wolverine, Black Widow, Jubilee, Psylocke. And they're even wearing the same smoking hot dresses. It's great. And Wolverine's got that tux. He's Patch. And you even get kind of a flashback for those uninvolved. But the missing element from the first, Captain America in the present. Or in the then present, now past, because it's been 34 years. You get the point. The present of this issue, Captain America bursts in fighting the Hand. Okay? And what's cool about this is it's like this nonstop action sequences. It flows so well. Again, the information is concise. This issue is a lot more action-centric, and I love it for that reason. And you get the sense there will be more. And then you also meet, at the end of this issue, what the hell is her name? Like some, what are they called? Bakay? I don't know how it's pronounced, but they're like these all-female warriors in Madripoor. I haven't seen them in any of the older stuff. I don't know if they're newer characters. I don't know what the deal is. They could be brand new, but like with most times, they're being introduced as if Wolverine, oh, I know you. And you just go, oh, he does? Okay. So I don't know if they've actually interacted before in the comics or if we're just being told that they knew each other, which again was standard affair with Wolverine. Wolverine was like, oh yeah, I know Nick Fury. And we just kind of as fans were like, I mean, I guess so. If you say so, Logan. So it's kind of like this. Wolverine and Captain America apparently have known each other this whole time. We didn't know that, right? With the original issue. So it really reads the same. But what I like about this story, it's a lot of things. It's a consistent voice. Having, as someone who just read for the first time 268, it feels like I didn't miss a beat. Like it just flows right in, and I can't wait for the next one. I am going to have to wait a month for the next part, which isn't that bad compared to the 34 years you guys had to wait. So that's okay. But I'm really happy that I got to read this at the time I did. I think it's a great issue. Claremont still got it. The artwork by Edgar Salazar is great, keeping the tradition of Claremont always working with great artists. That Philip Tan cover is great. Overall, high recommend. What I also love about Madripoor Knights is you see the Hand. And the last time Black Widow fought the Hand, she mentions right here, Frank Miller's Daredevil run, which aside from Chris Claremont's run, also one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. I did a whole video breaking down the reading order of that run and just gushing about it. And I plan on talking about that whole run in depth with some friends on a show on my channel called Comic Strip Club. We're going to break it down chunk by chunk, episode by episode, talking through it. Anyway, the fact that this issue ties in with Frank Miller's Daredevil run on top of all the awesome stuff it has going for it, with her saying, I haven't seen the Hand since I fought them here, is awesome. It's a continuation of one of my favorite runs into X-Men. I mean, does it get much better than that? No. Well, if Daredevil somehow showed up in here. Dude, that would be, I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be awesome. But what is great is you finally see Captain America, Black Widow, and Wolverine fighting side by side, full form in Madripoor. Now, do you see all three of them in costume fighting side by side? Still no. So the cover is still misleading. It's still misleading because you see him fighting as Patch, and you see Black Widow fighting in this green dress, and Captain America in costume. So even after all these years, 34 years, still doesn't match the cover, but seems like we'll get there, I think. We'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed reading this story. I think it was a lot of fun. I think it's a great story, and I can't wait for more Madripoor Knights. Now, it is called Wolverine Madripoor Knights instead of X-Men. It looks like they might be phasing Psylocke and Jubilee out of the story. I don't know. I mean, I hope they stick around. I like them. But again, it would be accurate to the cover. Anyway, regardless, I'm interested to see where this story goes. I'm excited for issue 2, and however many issues this is going to run for. It's probably going to be a mini-series. I would guess like 5 issues. I don't know for sure. I'll just go along for the ride and see where it takes me. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys should check this out and read the original if you haven't yet. Obviously, check out Frank Miller's Daredevil run. Check out Chris Claremont's X-Men run. Check out all the stuff. But most importantly, guys, now while you should check out all of those comics, this is the most important one you should be checking out. Phenomenova. So this is my own comic book. Go to RebelOasisStudios.com and check out Phenomenova. Phenomenova is set 20 years after World War III and follows this teenage boy who was the son of a veteran who grew up idolizing the superheroes that fought in the war, and he is struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal and finds himself awakening with lightning powers and super speed. This is a kick-ass story that is written by yours truly. I was truly inspired by Chris Claremont's X-Men run and all different kinds of comic books that I've loved over the years, and movies and all that stuff too. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. It's going to be 64 pages, the first issue of what I hope will be an ongoing series. I hope that one day I'll have fans who love my stuff as much as I love this stuff. And to do that, that means I got to do a pretty damn good book. And I think the results are speaking for themselves. Here's just some of the hints of some of the stuff you will see within the pages of this book. Link will be in the description. We got our first variant cover here. And you can see the creative team and a snazzy trading card here that you will get with your order when you sign up. How awesome is that? So make sure you guys sign up. You're not going to want to miss this comic. Again, RebelOasisStudios.com does take you to the sign up page, or you can just click a link in the description. And without any further ado, I will see you guys next time. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on Madripoor Knights, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace out.